Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the Game According to Me, my weekly podcast where I talk about what's going on in the world of sports and entertainment, or just sports. um, Quickly off the top, gotta apologize for missing last week. I was going to do it. January 11th was my birthday, and I was going to do it, but couple things happened. First off, we had mother had a doctor's appointment, so I had to help her go to that, and then so I said, well, I'll just go ahead and do it on a Thursday, and Thursday happened, and stuff went down, and I caught a flare up of gout, and I just couldn't, I didn't do the podcast, I didn't do my YouTube, that's a shoot video, a lot of things happened, so still dealing with the gout, I believe. Um, it was in my left arm, my left elbow. Um, No, the pain is not like it was last week. Last week it was, I went to the hospital Saturday. It was a 10. It was an absolute 10. And then it kind of over the last couple days it went down, which way it could be like a 4, like a 4, but it just kind of jumped back up to being a 6, kind of, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. So, but yeah, I'm dealing with it, and so we'll see what happens. But it should not affect. Hopefully, it will not affect my recording schedule here again. So we are here to talk about the world of sports, and as always, we like to give an update. Excuse me, damn, of Damar Hamlin. As we all remember, he a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Football, he had a cardiac arrest, and he was then taken to a Cincinnati hospital. And ever since then, he has been improving ever so slightly. That even Damar saw went and saw their team, saw the Buffalo Bills this um, early last week before the game on Sunday. So it's been really good to hear all of the stuff that has happened, and now this has come 2 weeks after the cardiac arrest event. So Damar is on a great road of recovery, and it is wonderful to see him walking and talking and doing all the good things, hanging with his boys like he wants to, and doing so much more. So, um, yeah, we are very grateful, all of us, football fans around the world, that Damar Hamlin is looks to be on his way to being back to normal, and that's a wonderful thing to see. So the NBA All Star has put out its returns, the second returns. There was returns last week, which was the first returns, but again, I was missed last week, so I didn't get the opportunity to see it. But it's I'm be very honest with you. I'm kind of getting tired of the way they do the it was cool to change it up for a bit, but it's time to go back to the East and the West. Mainly because the same two guys seem to be the leaders. It's Kevin Durant and it's the LeBron James. They're the ones that they've been leading like this for forever. And they're the leader, and they're setting conferences once again, which means they will do the things once again. Uh, they will do the schoolyard pick leaders again once again. So it's really kind of just sickening for me. Especially someone who's not a LeBron fan. So it's kind of trash in my opinion. But let's take a look at the results. We take a look at the front court for the Western Conference. The starters right now, and just in case you guys don't remember, the way the voting goes, the fans vote. They account for 50% of the vote. The players and the media's they account for 25 each. So then by that point we would come down and see who would be the starters for the Eastern Conference in a few weeks. So let's look at the Western Conference front court starters. It is LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, who's having a tremendous year in Denver, and Anthony Davis. Uh, some other guys behind them: Zion Williamson, um, Andrew Wiggins, Paul George, Larry Markkinen, Draymond Green, Kevin Looney, and Kawhi Leonard. And Zion Williamson would be a good choice, but he has been out with a hamstring injury for the last couple of weeks. So you see, by that is Andrew Wiggins not playing like the way that he played last year to become a starter in the Western Conference All Star, Western Conference All Star starter. But really, the guy that's might want to be up there, it should be Lauri Markkinen, because he's had a tremendous year. He's had several games of over 40, and he's led to Utah Jazz to a surprising record to where you kind of thought, well, the Utah Jazz would be, in the mix for the worst record. They're in the mix for the play-in teams. So truly tremendous there for Larry Markkinen. I would have had him, and maybe he might get the votes in the Western Conference to join them, become a starter from the players and from the media. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference front court. We've got Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Kuzma, Paolo Banchero, Nick Claxton, and Julius Randle. And there, I think that's a good mix. Durant, Antetokounmpo, Tatum, Tatum and Embiid, they seem to switch spots every now here and then and there. So it's gonna be interesting to see who the final turns out to be with the players and the media voting up the last 50%. So that's always gonna be a good lookout to see what happens with them. From the guards, Curry and Luka are the starters, and I think that's the case. And then John Morant will be third, and he's not even close. And I think it's for as good as Jamar had, he's not. John Morant is, he's not even there. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's having an incredible season, is fourth. Klay Thompson is fifth. Russell Westbrook is sixth. Damian Lillard is 7. Devin Booker is 8. Austin Reeves is 9. It's just people voting for the Lakers, and De'Aaron Fox is 10. And so, I think the guards are going to be Curry and Doncic, obviously, because I don't even think with the 50% from the media, I don't think Morant or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be able to pass up Doncic and Curry. Over on the east side, we've got Kyrie Irving. Even after of his um, all of his machinations and foolishness that he talked at the beginning of the year, the people not looked have not looked past him and given him the spot. Donovan Mitchell is there at number 2, who's been great for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Next, we have James Harden at 3, Jaylen Brown at 4, Trae Young at 5, and DeMar DeRozan at 6, which is something that kind of frustrates me because DeMar DeRozan he's a small forward. He is not a guard. He should be up in the front court, but I guess that's neither here nor there. I don't see who the last 4 are, but it maybe don't matter to begin with because. And we'll see how the players in the media, the players I think are probably going to vote for Kyrie Irving, so I think he'll stay. And we'll see what else the media, but we'll see how the media feels about Kyrie Irving after the stuff that he said. So I think really nothing is going to change from the fan voting to the players and media voting. The one thing again I would say is could Lauri Markkinen pass up Anthony Davis, but even though when you look at the voting, fan voting, Anthony Davis has 2.9 million votes. Larry Markkinen has 845,000 votes. So everyone and their mama would have to probably vote for Larry Markkinen for that to happen. So, and there you have it. The leaders in the fan return. Next week will be the third fan return, and we'll talk about it then. Something else I've been trying to get to for the longest time is the announcement of the Pro Football Hall of Fame finalists. That's 15. It was supposed to be announced um, sometime like in like on January 3rd, I believe. But obviously, the day before Monday Night Football, Damar Hamlin was the story, and they decided to push it back a week to out of respect for Damar Hamlin. And then they were announced last week, but of course, again, I missed it. So here we are. Just look at the 15 finalists of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in alphabetical order. Defensive end Jared Allen, offensive tackle Willie Anderson, cornerback Ronde Barber, defensive end Dwight Freeney. It's his first year of eligibility. Uh, okay, hold on. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Is this the right? Is this the right? Yeah. Okay. So I don't think this is not Devin Hester's first year of eligibility. He was last year. So Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, wide receiver Andre Johnson, cornerback Albert Lewis, which is an interesting one. Cornerback Darrell Revis, um, offensive tackle Joe Thomas, linebacker Zach Thomas, offensive line pass rusher, edge rusher DeMarcus Ware, wide receiver Reggie Wayne, linebacker Patrick Willis, and safety Darren Woodson. To me, all 15 of those guys deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. All those guys are Hall of Famers. And this is why, like, I really hate the fact that they do the thing where you can only take a certain amount. It really should not be the case. You really should be able to take as many as you want to. As many as you want. So if all 15 deserve to go in, all 15 deserve to go in because all 15 do. All 15 do deserve to go in. And it's silliness, to just keep it at, Baseball Hall of Fame doesn't do this. Baseball Hall of Fame is many times have, 12, 13, 14, 15 people going in at one time. And that's what the NFL should do. Having said that, I'm going to give you my five. There's a league that's what they do. They take five modern era finalists, and then you have two veteran era finalists, and then they take one contributor. I think that's what they started doing over the past couple of years. So for me, I'm gonna say Devin Hester, obviously, even though I'm a Bears fan, and yes, there may be some bias to that, but he's the greatest kick returner of all time. I think he deserves to go. So is Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, one of the best offensive tackles of all time. I think he deserves to go. So you get 3 spots left, and this is very hard. I think you need to take in one of the receivers. I think the best receiver out of all of them was Torrey Holt. So I think you take you do Torrey Holt. So then that's 3. The pass rushers: Jared Allen, DeMarcus Ware. Was there another one? Dwight Freeney. Again, all deserving to go. And listen, DeMarcus Ware, I think he should have been in last year, but they took Richard Seymour. Which I don't know if Richard Seymour was truly a Hall of Famer. So I'm taking DeMarcus Ware. I'm taking him, and then you get like the defensive backs. Darren Woodson, Darrell Revis, Albert Lewis. This is his final year on the list before he goes to the veteran committee. So part of me thinks that he's not on this list to not be taken, not to be voted in. So he probably will be voted in. But for me, I probably would take Darren Woodson, who deserves to go in. Truly, he truly deserves to go in. Another guy off that great Cowboys team in the '90s. So, and that would be my thing. Once again, who I would vote for the Hall of Fame. My 5 would be Devin Hester, DeMarcus Ware, Torrey Holt, Darren Woodson, and Joe Thomas. Doesn't mean anybody else there doesn't deserve to go, because they all do. Let me add on that just a little bit, just so that I can talk about this, because I see this. I've seen this several times over the past few years about Zach Thomas, and they comparing Zach Thomas to Brian Urlacher, and there's no comparison. Brian Urlacher was the better player by far. He's the best. He's the best middle linebacker in his generation. But so stop comparing Zach Thomas to Brian Urlacher. Zach Thomas deserves to go in, but he's not better than Brian Urlacher. Stop acting like the Brian Urlacher, he should have been in before Urlacher, or better before Urlacher. It's, well, maybe he should have been in before Urlacher because he retired before Urlacher. Maybe you call it that, like that. But no, it's better 54 was Brian Urlacher, and you know that, son. So, but there you have it. The Pro Football Hall of Fame 15 finalists, and who I would pick to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll find out more on the NFL Honors award show. Also, I missed the national championship game last week. There's not a lot to talk about. 65-7. Whew. He's the Georgia's back-to-back champions, first time since Alabama did it in 2011 and 2012. What else can you say? There's nothing else to really talk about this game. It really isn't. So I guess I'll just bring it up. National championship game happened last Monday, and Georgia beat TCU 65-7. And finally, as always, the main event, Super Wildcard weekend. Let's take a look at what went down Saturday. Even though I was in the hospital, I was able to see some of the game. 49ers was taking it to the Seattle Seahawks all game. They beat them 41-23. Brock Purdy still doing this thing. He started off slow, but he quickly picked it up, and I think he showed he's the starter next year for the 49ers, and that's going to be an interesting thing what they're going to do with Trey Lance. Saturday night, what an amazing comeback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chargers up 27-0. With a few minutes left to go into the first half, a drive down the field by Trevor Lawrence scoring a touchdown at the end gets them a 27-7 lead, and then they just picked them up and put them down, get to 30-28. Chargers with the lead. They drove the field, went T formation on a 4th and 1, got 25 yards, rolled down the clock, and then boom, boom, boom. What a kick to end it, 31-30. Amazing job by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Trevor Lawrence, who threw 4 interceptions in the first half, but he took control of that, and he said, "No, not today. We're not losing today." So great job by Trevor Lawrence. He just really continued to show the evolution of his game, and he's only going to get better under Doug Peterson, and only going to get better as this time goes along. He's going to be one of the true stars of this league. On Sunday, the Buffalo Bills should have had an easier time with the Dolphins, but maybe due to the fact of, you know, them still reeling from Damar Hamlin, or maybe because of, it's division rivals, or whatever it may be, or it's just, some things happen. You know, the Buffalo Bills game was a lot closer than it should have been. 34-31, Bills with the win. They go on to host the Cincinnati Bengals, who Sunday night beat the Baltimore Ravens 24-17, with a fumble return for a touchdown by Sam Hubbard. That kept that game in the dick. And in the middle, the Giants, boy, Denny Dimes. Where did this come from? Denny Dimes just put on a show Sunday afternoon, beating the Vikings 31-24. And the Vikings, another home loss, and the Giants now take on the Eagles. Amazing. And the wild card, Monday night, the Buccaneers it was no match for the Cowboys, who put 31 points on the board. Their kicker missed 4 field goals, so that's interesting. He had missed another extra point the last week of the season. So everything was everything with them. So that's a very interesting story. Let's take a look at what's going to happen in the divisional round. Jaguars. Yeah, the Chiefs Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, and then Saturday night Giants and the Eagles, 8:15 Eastern, and then we have Sunday's action at 3 o'clock. The Bills and the Bengals. Bengals will be at the Bills this one, and in the divisional round, the Cowboys will be at the 49ers at 6:30 Eastern. Now let's also take a look. Let's just remember this: if the Chiefs and Bills win their game, because of the fact that the Monday Night Football game where DeMar Hamlin had the cardiac arrest was canceled and postponed and was not going to be replayed. If that happens, then the Chiefs and Bills will play at a neutral site, which is Atlanta, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, or Mercedes-Benz Dome, whatever it's called. So that's where it's going to be. So it is very interesting to see what will go down this weekend on the divisional round. Last year, the divisional round had epic game after epic game after epic game, and we'll see what happens tonight. A lot of new faces around here: Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Danny Dimes. Should be fun. Should be interesting. Let's see what happens. All right, y'all. That's going to be it for this episode of The Game According to Me. Make sure you go to patreon.com/AJTRIP to become a patron. Once I hit a certain amount of patrons, you will be able to determine what you hear on my other podcast, The Word According to Me, what you see on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/AJTRIP20 or youtube.com/@AJTRIP20. I think that's how they do it now. You do it ats, which is funny. Or on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AJTRIP20. I wanted to start streaming on Twitch, kind of more often, but this is also stops that, my flare up with gout. So I'll try to stream tomorrow, Thursday, maybe even Friday. So yeah, that's that. Or you can go to anchor.fm/I'm the Truth Show, and you can go there and you can be subscriber there. 3 tiers, 99 cents, $4.99, and $9.99. There you have it. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for listening. This is your boy, AJ Trip, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.